Good day, good day, good day. Happy Monday, Nan. Happy Monday, Wayne. Hey, I'll take that. Starshine. That's one of my favorites, Wayne. Thank you for that. Thank you all for joining in for today's sip with Rev Melissa. And sip is spirit in practice. Spirit in practice, where the perfection is. The perfection is in the practice, Tim. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So I hope everyone had a very happy Thanksgiving holiday. I did, Linda. I hope everyone did also. Hope you didn't eat too much. I ate. I ate. I went in. I went in. My goddaughter is cooking. It's like, what is happening right now? She made mac and cheese and this really good stuffing. Yes, yes, yes. We had a really good time in DC. So I'll talk more about that when we get into some joy news, because that was definitely some joy news for me. So, yes, good day, Diana. All right. So I'm thinking about where I want to start. And I'm a little thrown off right now, I have to say, because to me, I look like I'm crooked. I look like I'm a little crooked. And my producer is saying, no, you're not. You're not crooked. But I surely look a little slanted. It's throwing me off. It's throwing me off. All right. All right. All right, y'all. So it's Monday, and we completed our Unplugged series last week. I enjoyed that. I might do that from time to time, just completely unplugged, sharing whatever's on top of mind and going from there, because the Unplugged series is leading us into our new series. Because on Wednesday, yes, it was on Wednesday, and it was during when Sekou and I are sharing at the end of the show, and something came up about, the things that we desire, the things that we want. And Gladys commented that it's difficult to know what you want. It's difficult to know what you want. And I said, we're going to put a pin in it and come back to that this week. So that's what we're going to do. That's where we're going this week. And we're going to see where that takes us, because dot, 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 because dot, dot, dot. So this is how I want us to ground ourselves. I want us to ground ourselves from Wednesday sip, when I was sharing about my experience seeing Dave Chappelle and Erykah Badu last week, and the things that the both of them were really emphasizing in such a way, right? So Erykah was talking about believing, trusting, and having faith. And Dave Chappelle was talking about being kind. So being kind to others and also being kind to ourselves. And that relates to knowing what we want, right? So first of all, I'm challenging I'm challenging the notion that we don't know what we want. One, I'm challenging that notion, because I believe we all know what we want. We all know what we want. Do we have, excuse me, do we believe that we can have what we want? Do we trust that we can have what we want? Do we have faith that we can have what we want? And are we kind to ourselves as we go through that process of faith, trust, belief? That's where it is, y'all. It's not, if the universe said to you today, as it says every day, if we are paying attention, what are the desires of your heart? What experience do you want to have? Will you answer that question? Do you feel right now that you could answer the question, these are the desires of my heart? This is the experience that I desire to have, right? This is what I want. And as I say that, I also want to ground us in giving up the wanting, giving up the wanting. So that leads me to this week's series. And this might be the series for the rest of the year, y'all, because this is a big thing. This is a big thing. So the new series is unwanting, unwanting, unwanting. That's this week's series. Okay. Yeah. And the reason why it is unwanting is because the pattern of our thinking, right? The pattern of our thinking of wanting is grounded for most of us who say that we don't know what we want. The thought pattern of that thought is limitation. If you have a pattern of saying to yourself, of thinking that you don't know what you want, you have a pattern of thinking limitation. I'm going to let that sink in for a second. Because all that we are using all the time, we are using spiritual principles, right? We could call it the law. We could call it universal applications that work. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. So if our pattern of thinking, of speaking is, I don't know what I want, what you are creating, because you are creating an experience of not wanting, of unwanting, of limitation, right? So it's not about the wanting. It's about your pattern of thinking, how you are using the creative process, the law, how you are using the law to co-create your life. So we're going to dig into this because this is a big it's big to take in, to like really take it in and use it in our lives, right? This is the challenge that we face when we say, I don't know what I want. And one of the things that I said on Wednesday is, it's about remembering. Remember every single day that the desires of your heart are being demonstrated. Guaranteed. The desires of your heart are demonstrated every day through the pattern of your thinking, through your beingness, and through your doingness, through our habits. Some of us have a habit of believing that we don't know what that is. And so I am saying that you do. Remember that you are using the law in your life to have the experience that you are having. So let me share this. I was really sitting with this, and I was in contemplation with it since it came up on Wednesday. And I was going through my Science of Mind textbook. And one of the things that I came across, there's a chapter. Oh, let me see if I can remember the chapter. I think it's chapter 16. And it's all about the principles of successful living, right? And it's all the things that we have heard, we know, but oftentimes we don't put into practice, right? And one of the things that Ernest Holmes wrote was this: limitation is a condensation of the idea of want. Limitation is a condensation of the idea of want. So if we spend all our time in that wanting space, right? We're not declaring that we already have it. We're not affirming. We're in the wanting, right? There's distance. Do you feel the distance when you say, I want ... There's a gap. There's a gap there versus declaring that it is so and doing everything within your power to use the law for that demonstration to come through you, right? So it's an activation, right? When we look at the law of mental equivalent, right? I did a whole series on the law of mental equivalent. And Emmett Fox has a really, really small pamphlet about the law of mental equivalent. Mental equivalent means that you can only receive that which can come through you. So if you want more to come through, you have to expand your consciousness around that which you desire to experience. If your mental equivalent, if your pattern of mental equivalency expands, constricts, is large, is small, and I'm just using those words to illustrate, because the bigness or the smallness doesn't matter to the universe, right? These are our human concepts of things. So let's move away from the wanting for a moment. Let's move away from the wanting. And let's lean in more fully into unwanting that, and lean into believing, trusting, and having faith that we are using the universe, that we are using the law to co-create that which we want to experience in our lives. And we have to do that consistently. That's the difficult part. It's not the knowing what you want. That's not the difficult part. It's being consistent in our believing, in our trusting, in our having faith in that which is larger than ourselves, and that which we are a demonstration of every day. That's the difficult part. And everything becomes possible through our practice of it. So keep practicing thinking that you don't know what you want, and you will experience the not knowing of that which you want. You will experience that. So let's look at our habits, right? Let's look at our habits of thinking about our lives, right? What are you believing about it? Where is your trust? Where is your faith? It's muscles that we can exercise every single day, right? Every single day. I see you, Nan. Maybe it helps to ask yourself, what experience will I choose to have rather than saying, I don't know what I want? That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Yes. Yes, Nan. What am I choosing to have? What am I choosing to know? What am I choosing to believe in? What am I choosing to have faith in? What am I choosing to trust? It's not found in the wanting. The wanting is a well of limitation. So that's one. The second part of this is some of us are not in our lane. So we might say to ourselves, I don't know what I want, right? But what we're really saying is, I don't know how to get it. I don't know how to get it, right? So we're going to talk about this notion of how to get it tomorrow. We're going to talk about that tomorrow. But what I really, 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 really pray that you receive today is to step away, lay it down, wanting. It's not about the wanting. It's about the being. Who are you being? It's about the doing. What are you trusting, having faith in, and believing as a habit in your life? It will come into manifestation. It does already. It has already. We want to have a different experience, right? That's what we're wanting. We don't like this experience that we're having. We want to have a different experience, right? It's not about the thing. It's the experience that we're having as we go through this life. The experience of joy, of abundance, of peace, of love, of bliss. That is the desire. That is what the outpicturing is, that we are seeking to have more fully expressed through us, through our mental equivalent of it. And all of that is within our control. It takes consistency. It takes being deliberate. It takes being vigilant. It takes believing, trusting, and having faith in yourself and the indwelling spirit within you. That's what it takes. All right. So tomorrow we're going to talk about how I get what I want. We're going to talk about that tomorrow. Okay? All right, y'all. So that's day one, series Unwanting. Unwanting. All right, y'all. So on Mondays, I like to introduce myself. So I am Rev Melissa. I am an ordained interfaith minister. I am a licensed religious science practitioner. I am a purpose coach, and I am the spiritual director, AKA pastor at Rockland Centers for Spiritual Living. And this is my ministry of joy. This is my experience of joy. This is the desire of my heart. This is the outpicturing of the unwanting. Yes. So if you need support, if you need some one-to-one support, please reach out to me. You can DM me and we will set up some time to talk. All right? All right. So we are living life in joy and we are connected to our yes. All right. So let's get into some joy news. All right. So I hope everyone had a wonderful Thanksgiving. I certainly did. I was in DC with my girls and Marco. We were hanging out with my best friend and my goddaughter, having a wonderful time. I shared about the Dave Chappelle show. We also went roller skating, which was so much fun, and went to one of those escape rooms. Have you done that? The escape room? Oh my goodness, it was so much fun. So we were in the Titanic and we were, you have to escape, right? So we almost escaped. It was so hard. It was so hard. We kept asking for clues, but we had a really good time. So I have to find one in New York because I want to do that again. It was a lot of fun. So happy Thanksgiving to everybody. For me, Thanksgiving triggers the countdown to 2022. It's the countdown to the next year for me. So I start getting into that space of what I want to experience for 2022. All right. So other joy news. Yesterday, did you see Living Life in Joy? Oh, it was a good one. We played Old Path Ministries. The guest was Tanya Moment, and she's one of the co-founders of Old Path Ministries, and she's also one of the Fab Five receiving support through the Hero Ministry movement. And oh my goodness, she inspired me so much that after we taped the show, I gave directly to Old Path. I was so inspired and moved by her. So if you did not see yesterday's Living Life in Joy, please check out the replay. She's amazing. She is amazing. Next Sunday, December 5th, my guest is Brooke McCauley. And Brooke McCauley and I went to seminary together. And that was another wonderful thing that happened while we were in DC. I got to see Brooke and I got to see Cynthia, my seminary sisters. We met up in DC and had really good food at this fabulous restaurant. So Brooke is my guest this Sunday. She is the creator of Point of Light, and you can check her out right now at her Etsy store. She has a line of inspirational greeting cards, and she just released a new line for the holiday season. So please go to her Etsy store, Point of Light, and you will find her whole selection of really inspiring greeting cards and other things that are light related. Okay. So this Sunday, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time, Living Life in Joy. Brooke McCauley is my guest. Yesterday, Rockland CSL, where I'm the spiritual director, we had a wonderful time. We were talking about gratitude, right? The topic was gratitude beyond gifts. And I would say the takeaway from that is about being unconditionally grateful. Unconditionally grateful, right? Because a lot of times we're grateful based on the conditions of things. So it might be a stretch to be unconditionally grateful, right? So please check out the replay of yesterday's talk. And this Sunday, we're in December, y'all. We're in December. This Sunday, we have a new theme. The theme for December is Journey of Becoming. And my topic is Surrender is Action. Surrender is action. I like that topic a lot. So I'm already getting some downloads for that. So please join me on Sunday, 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time at Rockland CSL. And you can go to our website to find information. It was wonderful to see you, Diana. Diana joined us on Zoom. It was wonderful to have you with us in service. I hope it was a good experience for you. The other thing I want to let folks know is that we are having Rockland CSL. I am launching our Thanks for Giving fundraising campaign. It will kick off tomorrow on Facebook for Giving Tuesday. So if you're not familiar with Giving Tuesday is a global movement to give to charitable organizations. And Facebook is one of the companies that provides matching funds to charitable organizations. And they match up to $8 million. Up to $8 million is basically first come, first serve. And they have a criteria that the organization has to meet. It has to be a 501c organization and other criteria. So I am kicking off our Thanks for Giving fundraising campaign where we are celebrating the fact that Rockland CSL is a thriving organization. It's a thriving center. So many centers have closed, churches have closed during this pandemic experience. And we are still open, thriving, and expanding. So I am asking for your support. We are also celebrating the fact that I have become an licensed religious science minister through Centers for Spiritual Living. I am now one of their affiliated ministers. So I'm celebrating the fact that I am now a licensed religious science minister. And I'm also celebrating the fact that I am the spiritual director. So lots to celebrate, lots to be grateful for. If you would like to support this outpicturing of my ministry of joy, that is Rockland CSL, you can do so starting tomorrow on Facebook. Just go, you go to my page or Centers for Spiritual Living, Rockland County, and you will see our Giving Tuesday information. Our giving extends through the end of the year. So if you can't give tomorrow, which I really hope you can, so that we could get that Facebook money, y'all, matching funds. If you can't, then you will have time to do so through the end of this year. And I will continue to make that announcement for folks. Last announcement, this Friday is our meditation with the new moon at 11 p.m. Eastern Time. We are going to have a wonderful meditation with the new moon. I think something's formulating either around vows, because we were going to do that the last time and I had to cancel, or around this notion of unwanting. So we'll see. You'll know how it all comes together for me. So please join me this Friday, 11 p.m. Eastern Time. We have our after party on Zoom where we get to share and fellowship and be with each other. Remember, on Friday, there will be no 10:30 SIP. SIP is the meditation with the moon at 11 p.m. Okay? Wonderful. I see you, Diana. Oh, wonderful. She said she had a great experience with us at service. Thank you. Great community. Thank you, Diana. I hope you would join us again. And of course, the invitation is open to everyone in my congregation of joy. All right. So let's check in with Sekou. So you'll see I'm rocking, you might not be able to see it. I'm rocking my Team Hero hoodie today to celebrate Sekou reaching 500 plus miles.
Yeah.
Woo! I think we need some fireworks or something.
Oh, right. Let me hit the fireworks on that.
Fireworks. 500 plus miles, y'all.
500 plus miles and boom.
Yes, congratulations. Yeah.
Thanks so much. So it's funny because I didn't realize it because I stopped. I keep track every day of my mileage for the day, but I hadn't added it up because I got busy with the Thanksgiving holidays and all of that. And the only reason I added up was because Jay White, the founder of Project Love Strong, who is one of the Fab Five nonprofits, said she wanted to interview me on Instagram Live yesterday. Yeah. So, and she said she's going to ask me about the run. So like a couple minutes before showtime. I was like, let me add these numbers up. Then I was like, oh. And that when I added up, I was at 501 plus a little bit. So I was just over as of that day. So as of day 181 for me, I completed my goal of running 500 miles. So I'm over that now. Beyond, I'm in the overflow, as you say.
Yes.
Me. And so, we talked about it on the show. It was her show, so I don't have a way to show it yet. I'm hoping she's going to send me the file that I can share. But if you're interested and you're on Instagram, go to Project Love Strong on Instagram and you can see the whole interview. We were on for maybe like a half hour. So it was really great. And we were both very excited about it. So yeah, part 1 done. So, part 2, let's go. Like, we got a lot of donations over Thanksgiving holidays. A lot of my family is so funny to me. They're like, so what are you doing again? I'm like, I post about it every single day, literally every day. Social media is busy and people are busy. People, scroll and scroll. And they knew that I was running, but they weren't quite sure what. So anyway, I got some donations from family, and I still have at least one per mile pledge. So that won't show up until I put the mileage in for November into the system. And so there's some things happening. But anyway, all that said, we're still doing the 10 for 10, 10 people, $10. That seems to be tracking well with people. It's easy to remember. It's easy to do. So if anybody out there wants to give $10, we're getting close. So December 4th is the deadline. And obviously I've already completed my part of the running, and I love to complete the financial part, because the whole thing is running 500 miles to raise $5,000 for 5 nonprofits to serve the unhoused community. So the Triple 5 challenge.
Yes.
Yeah. I think that's it. I don't know. I think that's it. I'm looking at the time. I feel like we gotta close out. What we doing?
Oh, we do have to close out. It's 33 after. Yeah. All right, y'all. Because I gotta put a note, because what you just said ties into unwanting. It ties into it so perfectly. So stay tuned. Tomorrow morning, sit with Rev Melissa, 10:30 a.m. Peace and blessings, everybody. Peace and justice. We're living life in joy, connected to our yes.